Welcome to highlights of stage 13 of the 2019 Tour de France here on GCN Racing. But let's have a look back to yesterday. A 40-rider leading group came down to just 3 survivors, and it was Mitchelton Scott's Simon Yates who became the 3rd rider of this year's Tour to join the Grand Tour hat-trick club, getting his full set ahead of Peo Bilbao and Gregor Malberger, the former world track champion, using his speed at the finish. Julian Alaphilippe taking a 1 minute and 12 second advantage into the stage 13 time trial. Many were saying that the Tour proper starts today, and a 27.2 kilometre individual time trial around Po. We visit for the 71st time to climb some twisty technical sections and a brutal sting in the tail, a 17% gradient within the final kilometre. Kasper Asgreen was an early pace setter with a 35 minutes and 52.52 second ride, knocking Chad Hager off the top of the leaderboard. Many were expecting Wout van Aert, one of the favourites for today's time trial, looking resplendent in his Belgian champions jersey. He came into a right-hander, clipped the barriers and went down very, very heavily. He was quickly attended to by the paramedics for a nasty gash on his leg. He was taken to hospital and unfortunately will play no further part in this year's Tour de France. Early reports from the team are no serious injuries, and we will of course update you tomorrow. Thomas de Gent, already a stage winner in this year's race in Toussaint Etienne. He was looking phenomenal out on the course, and he came into the finish with a time of 35:36.12, putting himself to the top of the leaderboard, while behind Peter Sagan was entertaining the crowds, wheeling his time trial bike up the steep gradient to the finish. Richie Porte did a phenomenal ride to La Planche de Belleville. He lost time in the crosswinds. He was looking to make amends in today's time trial. He came across the line just 9.40 seconds behind Thomas de Gent for a solid ride. Romain Bardet decided to change bikes, but he had already hemorrhaged a serious amount of time, 126.85 down at the 15.5 kilometre intermediate time check. Coming into the line, he would finish at this point at 1 minute 50.66. Rigoberto Urán, the EF Education first rider, looked good out at the intermediate time checks. Coming up towards the finish, it was going to be touch and go whether he could take the lead away from de Gent. In a full sprint to the line, he just missed out by fractions of a second. A big sigh of relief for de Gent, still in the hot seat. Thibaut Pinot has made phenomenal gains in his time trialling over recent years. Again, a man that lost time on the crosswinds. He's looking to move up the general classification with every ride. He would be satisfied with a solid ride 4th at this point. Enric Mas as well, coming in just over 20 seconds down on Thomas de Gent, whose time was standing the test of time throughout the afternoon. Jumbo-Visma's Steven Kruijswijk had gone into the stage 3rd overall at 2 minutes and 12 seconds. At the intermediate time check, he had gone fastest, but in towards the line, he had faded just very slightly, and Thomas de Gent's time stood again 9.60 down for Kruijswijk, good enough for 4th. Just 2 riders remained on the start line. Geraint Thomas, the penultimate man to start, the defending champion, the Welshman, expected to put bucket loads of time into Julian Alaphilippe behind. He had gone quickest at the intermediate time check, but he was being chased hard by the Frenchman in the Maillot Jaune on a special day in Po. It's 100 years since the yellow jersey was introduced to the Tour, and it was giving Julian Alaphilippe wings to fly. Thomas, though, out of the final corners. The look on Thomas de Gent's face said it all. Thomas would set the new fastest time by 21.21, but the man behind him was riding the time trial of his life. The last French rider to win a stage wearing the yellow jersey was Laurent Fignon back in 1989. Through 1 kilometre to go, and Julian Alaphilippe was up on Geraint Thomas. He threw his bike at the line for an unexpected victory of 14.67 seconds. Not only did he defend the maillot jaune, he extended his lead. How far can the swashbuckling Frenchman go in this year's Tour de France? Confirmation of your stage result. Alaphilippe takes it from Thomas, and again with Uran, Port, Kruijswijk, Pinot, Asgreen, Mas and Roscoff, your top 10. What a ride from the Frenchman. He's starting to make the home nation believe that he could become the first home rider since 1985 to lift the Tour de France title. He takes 1 minute and 26 seconds over Geraint Thomas into stage 14 and 2:12 over Steven Kruijswijk. Mas, Bernal and Buckman are poised and ready. Defending the lead in the time trial is one thing, defending it in the high mountains is another. Stage 14 takes us from Tarbes to the Col de Tourmalet, 117.5 kilometers in length. The Cat 4 climb early on in the day, but it's the Col de Soulor and the Col de Tourmalet with the Souvenir Jacques Godet at the top. We now go over 2,000 meters to the all category summit. This will be the big test for Alaphilippe. Don't forget to subscribe to GCN Racing. Make sure you click on the bell. You'll be notified every time we upload a new video.